Hey guys.
Can anybody hear anything?
What's the volume?
I don't know. I guess we're kind of early. Yeah. I guess there's more people.
People are coming in though.
Can you guys
hear us?
Can you hear us?
Hey, hey.
So we know it works. Cool. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys tuning in from? New Hampshire, Cheryl. What's the weather like up in the Northeast? Because we're like already in spring.
Hey, John and Angela.
What's up, John? John's gonna moderate, guys. Check out his channel. They just put up a cat tunnel and put like a market garden in their front yard. It's pretty cool. Still snowing.
Oh.
Ocean City, Maryland. I have a friend from there. Hawaii. Nice.
That's cool. New Jersey, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Ontario, Michigan, California. Everyone's all over the place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. What questions do you guys have? I don't want to sit down here and talk about, yeah, dude, this is quarantine haircut. Rocking it for everybody. 102 in Tucson, dang. Yeah. Who's got any gardening questions? I know there's questions in like comments and stuff in the videos, so that's what this is for. Whatever you guys wonder about, trees, gardens, whatever.
Yeah, I think we've been getting a lot of questions on where we get certain materials and supplies. If anyone has any questions about where we get stuff.
French island of Caribbean. Oh, sorry, Wayne.
We were nervous about getting frost too.
Yeah.
After we planted.
We had a really warm early spring and then late frost, like past the average frost date. Leggy tomato starts. So that's probably from lack of wind and intense sunlight. So when your tomatoes start growing, they're going to germinate and they'll come out and they're going to be reaching for the light and they need that wind to build up the stem strength and they'll just keep reaching. That's what makes them leggy. The cucumbers are Katrina from Johnny Seeds. They're a greenhouse variety and they're $1 a seed. So they're really productive, but we sell all of them. So it's different for us. You want to get that one or?
What's it say? Best way to check my area for
sales for markets and stuff.
A good way to do that is just to go online and look for farmers markets in the area, and then just contact the market manager and see if there's any open spots and see what other people are selling, and even just going to that market and seeing like what people are selling and talking to farmers and stuff like that.
Yep. Let's see what's next here. Growing consistent carrots. Broad forking. You want a broad fork, and then your whole bed has to be loose if you want consistency. You'll get some good ones. I mean, even in our softest areas, we still get some weird carrots, but when you think that you have 3,000 carrots in this one area, they're not all going to be perfect. Your spacing matters on that too. Like You don't want them all bunched together. Don't put nitrogen down before you seed them. Let's see. Trying to read all these comments, guys. Sorry, so we can answer them the best we can.
What's the brand of fertilizer injector?
Fertilizer injector.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Talking about the backpack sprayer?
The backpack sprayer is a Field King from Amazon. So, and then that is just, we just put it down under the drip tape because we don't have the actual fertigation thing that you need. It still works though. Bless you. Blight. I haven't had to deal with it in our tomatoes, thankfully, because we grow them in the tunnel. But plant your tomatoes somewhere else if there's blight, because it stays in the soil, I'm pretty sure. Leggy tomatoes. Try, if you have a leggy tomato, try and plant it, take it out and plant it deeper so that you don't have a leggy tomato, you just have a long buried stem. And hopefully the stem will shoot out roots and you should be good to go, hopefully. But starting over 2 is fine. That way you know you have some good ones and some ones that may adjust or may not. What would be good food for bell peppers, jalapeno, and tomatoes? Seaweed, feather meal, a chicken manure based fertilizer. What else? Calcium. They need calcium, so oyster shells. Newark, Ohio. We're from Findlay, Ohio. Randall. Let's see what's on here. My second year using your market bed layout, I had to dig through the chicken wire. Are you tarping anything? We still get grass too. It's just constant cultivation and take them out when they're this big before you have to really get in there and take them out. You can also put a bunch of compost on and just let it sit. Fruit trees, don't want to wait 3 years. Trees, that's a long-term investment. Maybe if you wanted something faster, maybe berries or something. But as far as trees go, the more effort you put into them in the beginning, the better it's going to be long-term. It's kind of the hard part with trees. The grant, you want to talk about the grant?
Yeah, the grant was an NRCS grant through the state and through the county. So when I called the first time, I had to be in business for a year before they let us apply for the grant. And then I just waited until we had been in business for that long. And they actually called me back. And what they did was they come out to your farm and they basically rank you on your water needs, and they do that with all the other farms that are also applying for the grant. So we were up against like people that had cattle farms or other produce farmers and like chicken houses and stuff, and they just rank you based on if you use like overhead irrigation or drip irrigation, if you already have water, all sorts of things and factors go into that. And then they just review it with their board members and kind of pick from there. So I mean, just check with your local extension office and see if they have it available. Not all extension offices have the funds available every year.
Yeah, do it fast too before the government runs out of money. because that's probably going to happen. Would you suggest with the BCS over a cheaper tiller? That depends on your context. We use the BCS every day for the stuff that we do, and it's like 60 beds planted right now, so for us it makes sense to get that machine. It does have a bunch of attachments if you're like homesteading and you want to do you can like chip wood with it or like use a snow blower. There's like a dozer blade. That's really context driven, but anything that has to deal with work consistently, I wouldn't go cheap on it because in my experience, you're just going to break it. I always break the cheap stuff. I break like right away.
We always try and get more quality things, even though it's more expensive. In the beginning, we just find that it lasts a lot longer.
So get the expensive tools, shoes, and pants. Everything else is cheap. Well, lost my spot. Sorry. Okay. Gary Hall. Are you? Is that customer Gary? Like robot show? He had the robot show.
Robot shows.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to open it up for everybody because people just show up, and we don't want that because we have a lot of stuff to get done in a day. But if you're a local person, just email us and say that's from the live, and we'll talk to you there.
Yeah, I can show my microgreen harvesting in a vlog.
We're gonna get a new tool to help out with that. So.
Yeah.
You sneeze correctly.
Yeah. What I do, sneeze in my elbow, probably.
Yeah, everyone's like coughing your elbow, and then instead of a handshake, everyone's like bumping elbows now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the same thing. Is the virus affecting our sales right now? No, but we are thinking about like now there's a bigger demand, but apparently the food system is collapsing now. So maybe there'll be a big demand now, and then as the virus slows down and the economy comes back, and then depending on how bad the economy is for the people, will they spend money with us? I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
But if all of our customers are seriously affected, we'll just figure out a way to make it work. If you got lower prices to stay in business, we'll lower prices to stay in business. Not gonna.
My hope is though that, people are seeing how fragile the food system is and that they're wanting to support local farmers more and will hopefully taste the difference once they do start eating local foods. Mm-hmm. And after that, they won't be able to go back to Walmart and get those trashy eggs or carrots because it will just taste so bad.
Yeah, and there's also like we're doing meat birds, like pasture raised meat birds, and we offered a lower price if someone wants to come help process them, and so then those people can then learn how to raise their own chickens for their own meat. So trying to find things that are valuable for people like that. We're going to do a gardening thing eventually whenever it's doable. And so yeah, all that stuff. It changes every day. Most of your markets are canceled. Are you?
So one of the things that we did, none of our markets were canceled, thankfully, but we also started doing farm pickups. So people come to the farm and get stuff directly, and that has been doing really well for us. So maybe try and, if you're in like not a super rural area, people might be able to come to the farm, or you can arrange some sort of CSA or like drop-off location.
Yeah, online ordering is probably the best way to try and do that, and then communicate through your email list and social media to your customers. Pickup locations, Maybe grocery store parking lot since it's open. Maybe
Yeah.
a brewery.
Churches, hospitals. We have a lot of people that work in like the hospitals and in the medical field, and they say, you know, when their shifts are over at 7, it would be awesome just to go out into the parking lot and be able to pick up a CSA box straight from the parking lot.
Haven't got a tarp yet, but have cardboard and weed barrier. Yeah,
Yep, that works.
it should work. If you made all the bread beds, you have room to make on your property. No, we could probably do like almost 30 more, probably. Alaska, cool. Oh, blueberries. Yeah, they'll fruit pretty quick. We grew, depending where you're at. Here, we grew the rabbit eye varieties. They're really good.
How would you start a garden in environments without a ton of naturally organic soil?
Arizona. Michael, check out, I think Steadfast Farm. Curtis Stone should have videos of Steadfast Farm, and he's in Queen Creek, I think. What was the other thing? He's starting another project too, but his stuff is the way to go. He uses a lot of compost. I do know that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me type that in so you know. Look.
Yeah, and with the using a lot of compost, just make sure you're getting it from a reputable source, because I remember him telling us one time that he got a lot of compost and put it down, and it was bad compost, and he had a ton of problems with it.
Yeah. Germination chamber is a busted fridge with a crock pot in the bottom hooked to a thermometer that reads a temperature, and then something else that our neighbor hooked up.
It's a thermostat.
It clicks on and off, and so it will click on the power to the crock pot when it needs to warm up. Then when it gets to the right temperature, which is normally like 70 to 75 for us, and then it will shut off. But what I did before we had that was just left the fridge open, like cracked, and then put row cover over it, and then just left the crock pot on, so it like kind of create a stable environment. That works too. Most of the time it's only in there for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. What advice do you wish you got when you started market gardening? That's a good question.
I don't know. I never thought of it.
I know, me either.
I wish I knew more of the marketing and branding side of it. The growing part's the easier side. The harder part is like selling it and trying to see your farm or whatever through your customers' eyes, and then communicating correctly. That was probably the hardest part for me. So, but I didn't listen to any farming podcasts since we started. It's all been business and marketing stuff. I think that's helped big time.
Yeah, for me, I guess like I didn't come from much of a growing background. Like Casey has his degree in horticulture, and I was more just like a hobby farmer, hobby gardener. And my background's more in accounting and on the number side. So I kind of wish I knew more about plants in general. So I've had to learn a lot of it through Casey, and then just like getting that intuition going that just takes so much time to get.
It's a lot. It's just the way plants grow. It's just to see it through so many different things. John, we don't buy good stocks. The machine we used for the lettuce was a greens harvester from Farmer's Friend. We put them in here. It's a company in Tennessee that make tools for small farms. So that's where we get our tunnels from, the weed mat, the tarps, the greens harvester, sandbags. We try and support them as much as we can because they're focused on businesses like ours.
Yeah, and their product is good too. Like everything
Yeah,
that
it's
we've
good.
gotten from them has been great quality.
Flea beetles, yes, they're here in March this year. Insect netting or row cover directly after you plant, otherwise they'll get in there. Yes.
How was the transition with me working on the farm full time? It's been great. I miss my work friends from the corporate world, but I don't really miss the corporate world at all. I haven't really thought about it too much, but it's been good. It just feels like natural. So
remove the chickens out. Are they on future bed sites? No, not really. We have had them there. They'll add nitrogen and life to the soil, but we don't rotate them in with the vegetable beds just for food safety reasons. And we're on a pretty busy road, so people will see it, and that's just the way it is for us. Maybe if it was just us eating the vegetables, I would put the chickens over the garden and do that, but I don't want to potentially get anybody sick.
Yeah. Sorry, we're just reading through the comments.
Got some tarp this weekend. 74 implant, 16 tomatoes, nice. Hours of sunlight tomatoes actually need, that depends on the variety actually. The ones that we have in our tunnel right now don't really thrive until they're at 13 hours of sunlight. But I would probably say, because it's a summer crop, minimum 8 to 10. But that's just my guess.
Would you recommend getting high tunnels on your first year starting your farm?
If you want.
Yeah.
I would love to have a high tunnel right now, but you can buy a Caterpillar tunnel for way, way less money. If for whatever reason it doesn't work out, you're out less money. It's easier to sell it. But yeah, if we could get a high tunnel right now, I totally would. Did you kill it? Hashtag fail. I don't think so. Just see how they go. We've had tomatoes out here in the tunnel 32 degrees, and they've been all right. If you have anything you can cover them with, go ahead and cover them with it. Like even just an old blanket, put it out like maybe like 6 o'clock, catch a little sunlight on it so it warms up the area, and then they should be fine covered.
How did you market yourself when you first got started?
Well, we did the farmers market, and we had our signs and everything, and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think videos help for a farm business because it's visual, and you get to know the person that's growing it or the people that are growing it more so like you can build the trust and things like that. And then
The newsletter at the
Yeah,
our
email
market.
list. Yeah, email list was big.
Yeah, I send out newsletters every Monday through MailChimp, and it's free up to 2,000 subscribers. And I think we only have like 250, so like we're not even close to having 2,000. But every Monday, I'll just send out a short and quick list of everything that we're going to have for Friday and Saturday. And like I'll put the YouTube videos in there, or anything else that I feel like people need to know about. But usually it's pretty short and simple, and we have good response from it.
Yeah. The other thing on Instagram, if you find local chefs, granted, this is a horrendous time to try and sell to chefs, but it's going to go away eventually. Those people in those restaurants, if you can connect that way, and then you tag them, they tag you. So if it's like a local food-based restaurant, the people that eat there probably have an interest in local food. So when they can see that connection through social media, whatever it may be, or your name on the board, the farms that they buy from, that helps too. So, but yeah, that kind of stuff never goes away. It's always going to be there. John, I'm not dancing. Yeah, Mike, I don't know. I lost our spot. Sorry. I hope that helped Logan. Almost looks like rust on the, I think that's the tomatoes. Most of the time, cold damage is going to be black, and it will look wilted almost right away, and wilted and black. Farmer's Friend, they're awesome. Placed an order yesterday. Sweet, that's awesome. Celtic Roots, what did you order?
Yeah, we ordered yesterday too.
Made new hives from swarms. We didn't. There was like no swarms this year, for whatever reason.
Either that or they're late.
Well, it could be. It was kind of an odd spring. It was super hot, and then it was cold, but it's been really windy. But Doug stays on top of the bees, and he's been giving them boxes, so hopefully that helps.
Yeah, they've been really active too. So
for this area, when the dogwoods bloom, that's when the bees swarm, and the dogwoods are done blooming. So we'll see. Nutgrass, like thick and near knee deep. I would probably cover that with something. Like maybe something like that you can like solarize. So maybe go to a garden center and see if you can get an old piece of greenhouse plastic and then lay that on top of it, and it will just cook the rhizomes too. I'm assuming it has rhizomes. Are you selling out your produce? Yeah, pretty much. Between the two markets and selling on the farm and a little bit of restaurant stuff we're still doing. It's just about everything. Marketing business podcast. There's one called I Love Marketing that's really good. That's probably the most effective. Simon Sinek stuff.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Gary V, I love Gary V stuff. Impact Theory. So these are like podcasts that interview people that have businesses or have done this or whatever, and they just go through, and all of it's good. Like I've never not learned anything from a podcast.
Yeah, I like the Choose FI one. Somebody mentioned that on YouTube one day, and that was really good. That's more of a financial podcast, but it still gives a lot of good information in there. Of course, Dave Ramsey. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
I'll listen to him too.
Get rid of thistleweed. Dig it out, maybe by hand. I think it gets a taproot. It has a
deep taproot, I think.
We don't really have them much here, but we did in Ohio. I'd go in there with a spade and cut them roots, man. Rip it out. Mm-hmm. You can do the same tarping method and try and just block the sunlight away from it for a long time. Try to wear out the energy in the root, and then it will die. Spacing for tomatoes in the hoop house. Putting up a high tunnel right now. We do them every foot. seems it was fine last year. We also prune them and keep them pruned. John saw tumbles.
Tumbles.
Can't find Miramichi green in Oregon. Just ask your local landscape supply for anything they have that has biochar in it. Miramichi green is just half compost, half biochar, but what you really want in that mix is the biochar. Destat, bro, Steph or Rhythm. Bro, I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Yeah. Wayne, the biochar is store bought right now, but we want to make it this winter because we have kind of a sandy soil up top before you hit the clay, and it needs the biochar big time. Good luck with retiring and stuff, Kathy. Thanks, Diane. We see you in the comments on the videos and stuff. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust a skinny chef. Shane, what's up, dude? Danny would love that
Yeah.
name. That's not so much out of land. We can put more beds in, but it's going to be more about being more efficient. So we're like planting a lot, so we have a lot to sell, and then seeing what sells, and then we'll come in and get more organized. Yeah. So like instead of harvesting from a bed of carrots for like a month, it would be like just harvest the whole bed.
We also have more room for like perennial spots, and I'd
berries.
like to get berries and some more fruit trees and stuff like that.
Advice for beginners:
start small.
Fail small.
Yeah. Just do little by little and keep working up as you get better.
That's vegetable farming. Animals, we're not the right person to ask for that. Wiggleware kits. Oh, nice. Oh, Celtic roots, sweet. The sandbags are good. Yeah. None of them have broke. Mm-mm. I've even hit them with the BCS with the tiller, and they've held up.
Yeah.
What resources do you recommend to get learned up on horticulture fundamentals? Where's that book at? The gardening one. Let me find a book for that question. Actually, no, this is just fine. It's the one from school. This one right here, Elliot Coleman's New Organic Grower, has like everything in it. It's pretty good, but the basics of that, and then what? The Market Gardener. I mean, JM's book. Oh, is Alan's book over there? Oh, this one. This is a good one for the basics.
Botany for gardeners.
And then there's a book that Ellen Polishuk wrote called Start Your Farm. And that one it's got a lot of good info in it. Easy to understand soil info. Oh, here we go.
First time here, Eastern NC, checking in. Nice.
Sweet. Never cold in Central Florida. Now heat and drought. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma lives in Florida, and she said it went to just like crazy hot, super fast.
Florida, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. Keep losing the spot here.
Right here.
Oh, hey, Aiden there. How you doing?
Hey. Oh, my at-home workouts. I have been really bad.
The farm is the workouts, I guess.
Yeah,
Let me look for my
I'm
book here.
practicing my functional fitness at home. But they've been posting a lot of WODs through my gym. I just haven't gotten around to doing them because I've been so busy. But I do have a kettlebell, so maybe I should pick up the kettlebell and do some workouts or something. Let's see. Do we set out swarm traps? We didn't this year. We've set some out before. And I don't know if like the pheromone that we got didn't work, but we never was able to catch anything. Let's see. Casey's off looking for that book somewhere. Oh yeah, Kyle Josh Satin. He's good too. He's been putting out a lot of good videos of his new project that he's working on. He's starting I think a nonprofit farm in the city. It's like an urban farm, so it's pretty cool. Let's see, any advice on market setup? We start our market in 2 weeks, wearing masks and staying 6 feet apart. Yeah, Casey and I both have to wear masks and gloves at the market. And we have to, every time we touch cash, we have to sanitize our hands or like sanitize our gloves so that we're just staying clean. And we have to pick out all the produce for people so they can't come up and like bag it themselves like they normally would. They just pick it out and we put it in their bag for them. And yeah, most of the like market managers are pretty cognizant of spacing people out. I know Casey's market spaced a bunch of people out, and then my market did too.
That book, this one's good.
Greenhouse Growers Handbook.
Yeah. It's by Andrew Mefford. That'll get more into detail, especially if you're doing tunnels, but there's also good just regular knowledge in there.
Yeah.
The Market Gardener is good too.
Yeah, that was like the first book I ever read about market gardening, and it made so much sense. Another tip for the market setup is try and like pile your stuff as high as possible, especially the root vegetables, because it just looks really nice. They call it pile it high, watch it fly. It just makes your stand look really abundant and full, and I think it attracts people to it.
Where are we at now?
Right here. Have we ever considered selling a cookbook of my yummy cooking? That'd be cool.
I do a lot of cooking. Let's be real here. Just kidding. We just been really eating soups all year, really.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
I just lost it.
Yeah, Logan,
Oh, here we are.
Now a good time to be a small farmer starting out? Maybe, yeah. Probably, depends on where you're at. I would still do it. It's probably gonna be who contacted us today about a CSA or something? We're not even...
Yeah, I mean, people are always contacting us about shipping or CSAs or whatever.
Well, there's like someone asked us if their whole office could do a CSA today, but
it was like it was a county government office. I forget which one it was, but
we don't have. I mean, we're already selling our stuff, so it's. But yeah, in that sense, yeah, it is. We buy all of our seeds from Johnny's. We don't save any because we're in the southeast, and we'll probably be saving fungal issues. Least profitable crop that we grow anyways. Fennel?
I don't know. We sell it. It's hard to tell right now because we're still trying to learn what is selling. A lot of the slower crops are probably going to be less profitable.
Oh,
so
celery.
Like,
Celery
is
that
so
one.
slow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll continue to grow that one. And then like cabbage is pretty slow. A lot of your like winter squashes and stuff can be pretty slow, but I don't know. We'll see. Are we going to put in any hedgerows and what we put in them? We just planted one last weekend and we put figs, persimmons, serviceberries, elderberries, comfrey,
Clover.
and clover in it. And then we'll probably do another hedgerow with like blackberries and raspberries.
We need mulberries too.
Yeah.
See ya, Celtic roots. Dang, John is on point with the Amazon stuff.
Are.
Nice. What's up, Mo Homestead?
How often do we water our lettuce after transplanting? Well, I water them right after we transplant just to water them in, and then it just depends on how dry it is. If there's any rain or anything like that, you can usually put your finger down in the soil and
you want to feel moisture.
Yeah.
If you don't, then the plant, it doesn't have any water next to it. So
yeah, because sometimes like the top of the soil can be crusted over and it looks dry, but then when you stick your finger in the soil, it's actually moist. It also just depends like how hot it is too.
Yeah. What's up, Angela?
Hello. I used to lift weights, but they got so heavy, so
Dude, I know how that feels.
Funny.
I like never intentionally worked out, really.
They are heavy. Do
we preserve? Kind of salsa.
Yeah, I mean, not that much. It's a lot of work.
We're growing all year too, so we just eat most things fresh.
Yeah, unless there's something that I really like, I'll make pickled beets because I like those, or like pickled eggs and a lot of salsa. But as far as like preserving everything, it's just a lot of work to do that. It takes an entire day really to do that. Yeah, the lemongrass to catch the bees, I think that's what was in my little swarm catcher thing, and for some reason it didn't. I mean, it could have just been the area that we had them in. It just didn't work.
We had set up
we set up a couple.
Yeah, we put the lemongrass in it, and I climbed this tree and set up this whole thing. It was up in the canopy, and yeah, the bees just robbed it, and it was full of ants.
Yeah.
Sweet Shalimar.
Our best sellers at the market are beets and carrots and salad mix.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Deutschland. Sweet.
Oh, cool.
Do you think you have a market competition? I don't know. We're kind of finding that out right now. We've had people ask. The taste is way better. It's noticeably way better. So there's a little bit that we're messing with now. So we'll see. Most popular items: mint crack, beets, carrots, salad. Microgreens are pretty popular, I guess, too. Yeah, they are. People really love the sunflower shoots. Sorry, I was laughing at John's a really good moderator, so you guys gotta follow John, and he catches these comments that are funny and deletes them, but they're spam comments. They're just funny to read.
Do we plant any flowers for beneficial reasons or to sell? I want to plant sunflowers because I love them and I do want to sell them. And then we have like comfrey around, elderberries. Those are all beneficial. We have a lantana plant that is like loaded with pollinators when it flowers, and I want to propagate that one and plant it around. What else do we have for pollinators? We have some bee balm.
Yeah.
I planted some edible, or like it started some edible seeds for flowers. I did borage, watercress, and a couple others, but we'll see how those go. I'm not sure if there's a market for it or not, so I'm going to start small and see how it goes.
One thing you would like to grow most but haven't yet. Bananas. Bananas and passion fruit.
I want blueberries.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Chill, dog. What are the best methods for watering, not losing too much water? Also, Michael, I guess drip tape, because it goes directly into the soil at the base of the plant. And then 30% versus 50%. For us, we use 30 and 50. It's really, we just use what we have available, and that's kind of about it on that, I guess. There's no wrong way to do it. There's no right way to do it. It's all about figuring out your spot. Eating fresh squash potatoes in Alabama. Nice.
Yeah. We didn't plant any potatoes this year.
Yeah, I'd like to grow potatoes more. In the NC Piedmont area, how soon can you plant after tarping? You can give it 2 weeks, or you can just plant now, and you could plant, like, if you're doing beds, you could plant one bed and leave the tarp on for the other beds and then slowly take it off.
Cut and come again celery could taste better. I'm sure
comparing it to the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm sure as you cut it multiple times, it starts not tasting good, but that's like everything, you know, it starts getting bitter the more you cut it. Do you take your seed starts from your basement directly to the tunnel? Yeah. As soon as they germinate, we'll take them to the tunnel and then water them in there.
Okay, how do I know the first part of that?
Do you direct plant if the weather's okay? Usually not from the basement, not directly from the basement.
We did do some stuff and it got beat up pretty good. So
yeah.
Feel your pain upgrade. What's up, Browntown, Clemson?
Lots of peas and beans are popular in personal gardens and are prolific. Why are they not grown in market gardens?
Labor?
Usually it's because the labor, they take a long time to harvest.
And then once you put a price on them that reflects the time that you put into them, they're going to be like, well, I have some growing in my house, or I can get them cheap over here.
Yeah.
It's just, you just hear the same thing over and over. So
yeah, you can't really compete with the, 50 cents a pound price.
Yeah. Bumblebees and hummingbirds, that comfrey that you gave us, John, gets a lot of bees. And hummingbirds. What was the one plant? Was it the comfrey that the hummingbird? Yeah.
Yeah. Angela from Heirloom Permaculture said the comfrey is good for hummingbirds.
You guys can order those from John too. So if you want to check them out, that's all the ones we planted are from them. Yeah, no hats. We're not the studs either. We're still learning a lot. We're in North Carolina. Yeah, we thought about nasturtium to throw in there. What's up,
that was
Josh?
the other seeds that I started for
Oh.
double flowers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Josh is here.
Hey, Josh.
Josh, you got a quarantine haircut. Check this out. Reppin'. So awesome. Sweet potatoes, yeah. We grew some last year. We're gonna grow some this year, but they were sold out.
Yeah, we didn't get them early enough.
Strawberries, I don't know.
I have them in pots.
I don't know for market stuff. We'll see. There's definitely a market for them.
Yeah, the strawberries. You have people at my market that are selling strawberries for the past 2 weeks, and it's been like crazy. They've sold out, and they've had a line just for the strawberries. And
yeah, Browntown. I close up the tunnels if it's below 50. I'll close the tunnels at night. Actually, if it's below like 55, that's just because you don't want to slow the plants down. At least for us, there's a spider right there in the webcam. And then during thunderstorms, because what the reason for the tunnel is you don't want water on the foliage. So you get a good storm with the sideways wind that blows the rain in, and it's, you're off to the races for issues.
And I feel like the wind is going to catch in the tunnel and just pick it up.
Yeah, we have power lines around, so we definitely shut them. Yeah, we're using the new well. It's going. A lot of work.
Good. Yeah.
You guys grow oyster mushrooms. Nice. I don't know. I guess we really have a niche crop. We got
no, not really.
Our carrots are really nice, and salad mix is nice. That probably is what brings most people back.
Yeah, a lot of the surrounding soils surrounding us are like heavy clay or pretty rocky. So we just know a lot of farmers that can't grow carrots, but we have a more sandy soil where we're at, so we're able to grow them.
Kyle, yeah, you can take seedlings into full sun after germination. We do it all the time now that it's warmer overnight. The trays.
I think it's just an Amazon.
It's from Johnny's too, isn't it?
The seeds? The seed trays?
The flats?
Yeah, you can get them from Johnny's.
Yeah, we have Bootstrap Farmer microgreen flats and whatever ones that Josh gave us. That's that. Mm-hmm. They're from Johnny's, I remember.
Yeah, and Amazon. Some from Amazon too. We use the 128s, 72s, and 50s.
I'd like to try the ones from Haas Tools, but we'll see. I don't know why the plants are being little punks. I don't know. What are they doing? How are they dying?
Diane, yes, we are close to Mecklenburg County.
Yeah, we're in Catawba County. And I sell at the Charlotte Regional Farmers Market, which is in Mecklenburg County. Mm-hmm. And we used to live in Mecklenburg County.
Starting out, would you recommend doing a full CSA or farmers market is best? Personally, I would not start out with a CSA. That's a lot of commitment and pressure that you are putting on yourself to make sure that you can produce for however many people. And if anything goes wrong, then it just really doesn't reflect well on you. So
Steadfast. We had dinner with Eric from Steadfast Farm. He's been farming for like 15 years or something. Mm-hmm. He said don't do a CSA because you don't know your production yet. Like you don't know where your production is going to be. Like last year, if we started out with a CSA and then found out that our well couldn't keep up with anything, that would have been bad.
Yeah. And I remember us saying we're so glad we didn't do a CSA because
the farmers market is going to be a good way for you to get CSA customers.
Yeah.
So, but it also gives you it takes the pressure off the first year and allows you to grow. I don't know, like grow into your customer base, whatever you want to say that it would be. Whatever.
Yeah, and now that we have a presence, more of a presence in the farmers market, people are now starting to ask if we do CSAs. So we also are just trying to gauge the interest there, and then maybe next year, like this winter, we'll do a winter CSA or something like that.
Yeah, see what the virus does, and might be pushed into a CSA model. Chickens don't really get in the garden. Some get out. I throw stuff at them. It annoys me. We moved them farther back, so it's not really much of an issue.
Yeah, but they will. I mean, if they do get in the garden, they will like eat it up and scratch it up.
How do you prune your cucumber plants? In the last vlog on Friday, I went over that. It'd be easier if you can see it instead of me trying to explain it right now without a plant.
Employee of the month is currently sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, and there goes cross-eyed cat. What gets me most excited about the future of market gardening and stuff like that is the tools and technology is better, and putting this stuff on YouTube, and we have customers that watch our YouTube, which is cool. Our neighbors even watch it, surprisingly, and it helps communicate the message to them of like how much food you can grow on a small amount of land, how you can do it without synthetic fertilizers, how you can do it without big equipment, consistently grow good stuff all year. Try and start to replace the grocery store, replace the industrial model a little bit at a time, not just plant like 4 beds and think that you're like changing the food system. It's about doing things for your community and making it realistic, affordable. But what was the other part of that question? What gets us concerned is, I don't know, if we have a bad recession or a depression, I don't know if people will buy vegetables. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Skinny Chef, your go-to for growing and selling. What do you mean? Like
what vegetable?
Maybe I'd start with salad, personally, because it's the easiest. When you sell a fresh salad to someone, the taste is way better. It lasts a lot longer. It's the easiest thing for a customer to realize the quality difference.
Yeah. The fact that it lasts longer, I think, is the biggest thing, because we'll have customers that say, I've had this in my fridge for 3 weeks and it's still good.
Mm-hmm. Are you using all your land for gardening? Are we going to expand? We can do more here, but I would be up for a bigger project personally. We might do something with the honey hog in the future, but we gotta see how it goes. Cucumber germination, 3 days?
Yeah, like 3 days.
That's in the germination chamber at
75,
73.
Yeah.
That's constant humidity and temperature. It took 3 days. But your varieties will change that up too.
What size model BCS do we have?
749.
Would we recommend it for a home garden?
A home garden, probably not. I don't think you need something that big. You are probably better off having someone come work the land first, or taking more of a no-till route. We don't really use it to till. We use it for the flail mower. And on a home garden, you could just use a weed whacker probably.
Yeah. I mean, you've used weed whacker
in the tunnel, tunnel,
like where you can't put the BCS in on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Haas Tools is good, man. Their wheel hose are awesome.
Yeah.
If you have trouble getting it to germinate in the chamber,
Make sure that the soil's wet enough
Yeah, soak them. And look on the back of the seed packet. A lot of times they'll have information about germinating them, and they'll give you a temperature. Potting soils is your issue. There's a local guy here in Asheville, North Carolina, that sells potting mix. It's Dirtcraft Organics. That's good. And we're using Vermont compost. It's really expensive, but we'll probably, yeah, it's really good. What did Josh use that we used in North Corner? Pro Mix, Sungrow Pro Mix. That might be a good one you could check out.
Too.
Every time I move this thing, okay. Do you only use capsulated seed?
No, we only use it on Salanova.
Yeah, that's
really,
it.
or Muir.
Yeah.
The Muir lettuce seed. We use pelleted. I've tried some pelleted beet seeds before, but I don't think they germinate any better than non-pelleted.
Yeah, Browntown. The onions are seaweed, and you want extra nitrogen and phosphorus for the onions.
Fancy Farmer Addie is 10. She just turned 10 on Easter.
Yeah.
Well, that was our just
unofficial
guess,
official
guess on her birthday.
We got her from a rescue place in 2012.
Do we put a cover on our seeds to keep humidity up, or is the basement humidity controlled? No, we don't cover them. I guess just the humidity in the germination chamber is enough to keep it, because we keep it closed, so the moisture stays in, and then we really only keep stuff in the basement, like if it's too cold, like over the winter when it was too cold to put stuff in the high tunnel. But now it's warm enough, we can just put it straight out in the greenhouse.
Yeah, if you're watering daily, you're probably fine. Now, if you're watering daily because it's drying out fast, you want to make sure that it never dries out before it germinates. That constant moisture is really important. Just messed it up again.
How many wells do we have on our property? Two.
Two now. Fancy it up.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cheryl from
Australia. From Australia.
Yeah. It's a 6-inch well. Cheyenne is a 6-inch well. It's pretty standard for this area.
Has business been steady despite COVID-19? Yeah. It's changed a little bit. We've gotten more farm pickups and less restaurant business, but it's been good overall.
Is there a way to pump up the spring? From what I learned from the well guys, you can drill a well next to a spring and it won't matter. I would call a well company. They'll probably come out for free. At least these people do. And ask them about it, because the more water you have, the better if you're trying to get into this. Like, we try to use we try and save as much water as we can, but I mean, I wish we had more, but still grateful for what we have, though.
What's our favorite mulch?
I like leaves the most, because if they get in the bed, or like if you kick them in the bed, they'll break down easily, and it's not like wood chips where you can pull some nitrogen from the soil. Yeah, I would go with leaves, and they're easy to get. B. Josie, what up? Oh my god! Every time I move the mouse, I mess this thing up. Logan, I already have a lot of people texting me questions every day. Some wells
just don't give much pressure.
Yeah. The well thing is interesting. So we have a really weak well that's really deep. So it doesn't produce a lot of water, but you have a lot of storage water. So you can work off the storage and drain the well and then let it rest and refill. And then in that, you can set your pressure higher on your bladder tank. And so you can get pressure, but just not for as long. Now, if you like our other well, we can run wobblers and it will stay at a steady pressure normally because it's making enough water to meet the demand of what you're trying to irrigate with.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, it's getting shooken up right now, man. It's crazy. Really, the virus really showing how fragile things are.
Mm-hmm. Well, any advice for starting a CSA?
We don't have one, so sorry.
I guess start small.
Yeah.
Would be my best advice, just to make sure you don't over promise and under deliver.
Yeah. Eric, yeah, we're on Facebook. It's Honey Tree Farm.
How do y'all feel about agricultural degrees, specifically in sustainable food and farming?
If you like it, yeah. I don't know. I don't have a degree in it, so I don't really have an opinion, I guess. I just went to school for horticulture, and now I think with the internet, I probably could have learned all that stuff from the internet and in the field with good mentors, but I definitely am glad that I went because there is a lot of foundation knowledge that's really important that if I didn't have that and from the beginning, like the real science of it, I probably would have went off of some ideological whatever that, isn't really that realistic or practical. But the foundational knowledge, you can apply it to everything. So
we get our microgreen seeds from True Leaf Market. I don't get them from Johnny's because they're a little bit expensive from Johnny's, and I order a lot. So True Leaf I have found has the best prices.
Yeah, if you're looking to get into microgreens, check out Josh Satton's videos. He's taught us a lot about microgreens.
Yeah.
Oh man, where's
that? Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Good.
Brian, yeah, that was a good time at Jesse's in Kentucky. Yeah, John, you had a Lake Wilson over there.
Awesome home, awesome DHME from Saudi Arabia. That's cool.
Oh, cool. Hey, Kelly.
Could you prepare garden beds using a box scraper instead of a rototiller? Box scraper?
Box scraper is a box. I'm assuming it's a box blade on the back of a tractor. Maybe if you only ripped off the sod layer. But it's probably going to leave somewhat of a hard pan there because that's a lot of pressure. If you have a tractor with a box blade, you might be able to rent a tiller for pretty cheap and do it that way, or you could take a no-till route.
Portable tank, even. For water?
Oh, for water, yeah. The well thing, what you can do too is you can fill up a big cistern or something overnight and then use that to irrigate the next day. So if you do have a spring, that'd be a good thing to do.
How much nitrogen is too much nitrogen for vegetation stage during weed grow?
Not sure.
I'm not sure I understand that question either.
Too much nitrogen for vegetative stage during weed growth?
30 pieces of silver. What do you mean on that one?
Yeah.
Is there a way people can give back who don't live close enough to buy products?
I don't know. Just watch the videos. It's cool. We appreciate it. What was that?
Why?
Ew.
I think it's huge.
Oh man. Extras. If we have extras, we there's a donation box in Charlotte that goes to a men's ministry. We'll eat what we can. We'll freeze what we can, like freeze kale or onions. We'll try and give some away to people if we can.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll do is give them to the chickens.
Do you mulch with ash?
Sweet. Thanks, off-grid stoves. That's cool. Real cool. That compost spreaders thing is pretty neat.
Yeah.
We don't really use ash. We don't really have a lot of it to use. What was the price on the 2 tunnels? 33,000.
Yeah.
It's like 3,000 for 2 tunnels. One of them's a pro though. We're gonna turn it into a nursery.
Yeah. I mean, one classic 100-foot tunnel from Farmer's Friend is $14.50.
Fertilizer. Seedlings don't normally need it unless the potting soil has lost any bit of nutrients that it has. Probably the third set of true leaves is when I would use it.
How much time do we think the woven weed fabric saves us? A lot of time.
Yeah, it is the evil plastic, but
yeah.
It does work and it lasts for years.
We have Bermuda here,
Yeah.
so it just grows so fast and it roots in really fast and it spreads, and it just helps a lot with that.
Depth or width that determines size of grows. Nitrogen. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure that out, but there's a depth or width. For tomatoes, maybe?
Is that the nitrogen question?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. I'm still not sure what you're asking.
Eastern End, my YouTube channel. Yeah, we kind of have a good source here. It's a little carbony. Maybe try and call or search the next biggest city and see what they have to offer, or if you can drive in and or rent a truck or something in a trailer and get loaded with that at a we have green dumps around Charlotte where landscapers and tree guys take their stuff. They turn it into mulch and compost and stuff. Soil Food Web, I watched their stuff on YouTube. Oh yeah, in Arizona. Yeah, Michael, man, look up Steadfast Farm. He's pretty cool. If you ask him a question on Instagram, he'll probably respond. What's up, Lone Star Living? All right, we're caught up on questions. All right, you guys. All right, is everybody good? John said I gotta dance, so. There you go, John.
Kelly, yes, I'm glad to. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, guys, we're gonna go to bed. We got a long day tomorrow too. So
Yeah, thanks for watching, and
yeah, thanks for the questions. Good to know what you guys are thinking, so we can try and put that stuff in videos and.
heirloom permaculture. You guys need to move here soon.
Yeah, man, we got tons of chickens you can raise here.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a good night.
We'll see you.
Bye.